Good evening and salutations, my Beyond the Gate fans. Okay, this is I think you're getting used to. Um, you know what? For the last 2 minutes, I've been sitting there thinking about how to go about this whole thing. Right. One thing I will sit there and say, right, and I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit, is that I'm glad after Danny knocked the shit out of um Haley. You had the woman that just kind of just sitting there just looking at this whole thing because everybody is just like they're watching this whole moment. And you saw in the previews after she got hit, she did this whole Fairmont Crest and she did this whole little snap, and I was like, oh god, don't. Just like why? Because I felt like that was just gonna kill the whole mood, and they didn't put that there, and I appreciate that. So, whew, it's a lot to unpack. I will sit there and say this before I even get started and before you are going to watch this show. Just understand something that this show is getting its legs. Okay? The show is getting its legs. And I have talked about this in my members live stream and my regular live stream is that I feel like everyone's going to have their expectations up here and you need to kind of bring them down to here, right? Because we're still getting used to these, still getting to know these characters, right? And we'll start off with, I mean, for the most part, Danny, since she's kind of more the, I don't want to sit there and say the central character or whatever, but like this, I felt like this was very a Danny centric episode. I mean, yes, everybody is getting their introduction, and some is good, and some is like, I'm pretty sure there's more to it. Like Derek and Ashley. There's not really much to them. I have no idea what Derek does. I know that Ashley is her first day being a nurse, and Derek seems like he's very devoted to her. Made her breakfast in the morning, take her to work and everything like that. And he's a very devoted man. What's underneath him though? Then we got Naomi and Derek. I want to sit there and call Naomi the freak. Now, if you watch the episode, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, they didn't really do much of anything. They kind of just started off doing Loving in the Afternoon, and then they decided to do more Loving in the Afternoon. And then he's about to sit there and go to work. And, I guess Naomi and Ashley are friends or whatever. So, they both got, or she got Ashley some sort of necklace, a stethoscope or whatever. Then got him a gift. That gift was pink handcuffs. I'm gonna like her. Um, but she also feels that her dad ain't ish. Okay, her dad is Basuda. Now I'm gonna have to sit there and backtrack some stuff. Okay, and this is also for the members, people in the members or whatever. I said that Danny was a little bit emotionally unstable. I'm gonna have to backtrack that because don't get me wrong, I like my messy characters. Okay, and I'm gonna sit there and say right now, Bill is somebody who I could just sit there and say right off rip is gonna be my favorite character. It's gonna be my favorite character. There's a pattern with me. There's Bill, there's Drew on GH. There's a pattern, but Danny, right? She is pissed, and as you watch this episode more, it's not even so much. It's not even so much about the cheating, which is actually really sad. It's not so much about the cheating. It's about the embarrassment. And at first, I was not there like, when she found out that they were gonna be being married on, Fairmont Crest or whatever. She was like, oh, imagine what people are gonna sit there and say about me, about my family and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, you more worried about the embarrassment than the cheating? But when she gets her families, Anita and Nicole. God damn, I had to sit there and learn some of these names on the fly. Um, Now Nicole and Anita are sat there talking about Danny and just stuff that she's been going through. And she gets there after she breaks a couple of mugs or whatever, and it's not there talking to Vanessa, and she finds out about she's talking about the whole embarrassment thing or whatever. She gets down there. Long story short, Bill has been cheating on her for a while, right? Different people, whatever. And the thing is that she can always sit there and try to pretend like, well, listen, it didn't happen because whenever Bill was not there doing his trash activity, to be honest, that's what it is, he was always away. So it was like, listen, out of sight, out of mind. But now you're sitting there bringing this stuff to her front door. And in a sense, I know some people will sit there and call this red pill stuff, right? Back in the day, still now, sometimes I'll sit there and watch Kevin Samuels. And before anyone sit there and get started, I didn't believe in everything he said, but it was some stuff that I couldn't sit there and act like it wasn't true. And, maybe this is how he grew up or whatever, or this was like back in the day, whatever. You found out that she's been married since she was 19 years old, right? And her family is not there trying to tell her, listen, just forget him, this, that, and the third. And that's not something you can just easily just let go, Yeah, it's sounds simple, but she was 19. Like, that was her plan. Like, she grew with this man. And that's what just makes it so hurtful, and also why she's ignored all the other cheating before. There's a saying that he used to say, man makes a lot of money, whatever, and it's not there taking care of his wife, and it gives him certain privileges. I don't believe in this. Okay, I just want to then put that out, but that's that red pill thinking. One of the things is that you don't bring embarrassment to the family. Don't bring diseases. Don't bring embarrassment, and that's what he did, and that's what she can't sit there and deal with. Now you're gonna agree with that lifestyle, disagree, whatever, but that's generally the idea of like why she's so furious. Which I get where she's coming from. Anyway, her family's not there trying to cheer her up. Martin and Vernon was not there talking to some people. Martin is a congressman, and Vernon is a senator and everything like that. So they were talking to the people. Then they get back to this country club, which I don't understand why this woman decided to start eating there. Oh, I'm famished or whatever. I'm gonna sit there, go to the country club. I'm like, what are you doing? And she met her at some point. At one point, she met her, or I think she came over the house. I don't exactly remember what it was, but she met her, and she was like, listen, I mean, can we sit there and try to be civil to each other and find some sort of peace and common ground? Apparently, Danny brought her into the family and everything like that, and she wasn't really had a lot of money, kind of. I don't want to sit there and say destitute or whatever, but she was at a low point in her life, and Danny, I guess, felt pity or whatever and bring her in. And she also was Bill's legal aid, which, I mean, there's a certain level of scumbagdess there, seeing how he took advantage. One can argue that he took advantage of one of his underlings. So this man is just as messy as you can possibly get. You think that Drew's bad? Oof, Bill, and this is only the first episode. Jesus Christ. Um, Anyway, she's just like, oh, can we just sit there and get past this or whatever? I'm like, how are you going to sit there and come to this woman and talk about, oh, can we just be civil and just kind of, get back to the way things was. I'm like, oh, you took her man. You took her man. Like, on what universe? And see, this is my whole thing about Haley, which, by the way, this chick is fine. But I'm like, I guess part of me would have been like, I would have preferred a woman that would just came up there and be like, yeah, I took your man, and what? And what? Yeah, I did it. What are you gonna do about it? Because like that's how it was towards the end, right? You had this whole, everyone's just kind of staying at this country club. Got the family there, just in unison, and I could sit there and respect that because even Nicole, who seems like she's more of like, come on, don't do that, don't embarrass yourself or whatever. She didn't even go there when she hit her. She just stood there like, mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm normally not about that whole violent stuff, but your ass deserve it. Um, Once again, she finds out that they're getting married there, they're going to be staying there. So, like, not only is this embarrassment, like, y'all could have went anywhere. And that's where Danny decides to walk up there and give her a piece of her mind. She's like, oh, just don't, like, what is all this mousy shit? Like, what are we doing? I guess it's supposed to establish just how dominant um, Danny is. And of course, she winds up hitting her in the face, and everyone just kind of just walks past her and everything. And which makes this so much even worse. I know how to pick my favorites. Is that Haley and I think Chelsea, which is Chelsea is the daughter of Bill. Bill got two daughters. One is Chelsea, which is a social media influencer, and the other, which is Naomi. I have no idea what the hell she does. Naomi's kind of indifferent. Like she don't like. No, I'm sorry, Chelsea. Chelsea don't like what he wanted doing to his mom. And Chelsea and Naomi, I guess, used to be friends. So I'm like, bro, not only did you sit there and pick somebody that's like way younger than you, which is frowned upon by most people, but you picked your daughter's best friend. Like, what? Again, people sit there and say, "Oh, Drew's such a bad man. He's so horrible." I'm like, well, I guess they didn't sit there and meet Bill Hamilton because he sat there and said, "Hey, Drew, hold my beer for a hot minute. I got this one." Um, Bill is about well, Bill meets his client, and his client, has a son that's on substance abuse or whatever, and he got caught in some legal trouble or whatever, stealing some money and jewels and stuff to, I guess, feed his habit, right? And Bill's like, "Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's no big deal. I'll just I'll just make that go away." But they about to press charges. What do you mean you just? What do you mean you just going to just make that go away? You got an infinity gauntlet? Like, how's that going to work? He just makes one phone call, and it's taken care of. And the guy's like, "Oh my god, thank you so much." He's like, "No, it's fine. I just know the right people, and favors and things of that nature. That's how the world works. It's like it doesn't matter how much you charge me or whatever. I got you. Whatever it costs." He was like, "No, you can keep your money." I'm sorry, what? Well, you can keep your money, but maybe one day you do a solid for me. I'm pretty sure no matter how much he was going to pay, it's probably going to be way worse. I mean, it's probably going to be a lot better than whatever kind of favor that he is going to ask you to do. I can guarantee you that after just one episode and an hour of Cynthia seeing this man. Also, they got this guy named Andre, which um, it says in the Wikipedia or whatever, because I mean that's probably the only way I was able to follow this. Is that his last name is Hamilton, but he doesn't go by that, so I don't know what that's about. So back to this whole family pep talk or whatever. Right? Everyone's Smith there trying. Well, Anita Smith they're trying to get through her. Um, Cole Smith they're trying to get through her, and I get. At first, I'm like, listen, you're just kind of lashing out at them. That's kind of mean or whatever. When she said she was 19, she met that guy. That's not something you could just simply. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. He's trash. He's basuda or whatever. Yeah, she knows that, but that stuff is ingrained. Like their life and her plan, children that they had, that's kind of ingrained in her. Then her dad came in, named Vernon. Now, listen, I'm gonna sit there and say this. Even if you just watch this one episode, right? You never watch this episode again, but you really should. But it's something that her dad said, and y'all ladies need to sit there and pay attention to this shit. You're giving that man power that he didn't earn. You're giving that man more power than he didn't earn. He ain't earned that power for a very long time. I'm like, ladies, Vernon's dropping some knowledge. Might want to sit there and pay attention to that. Now, overall, and I'm pretty sure I probably missed some stuff here or there. We're gonna sit there and break more of this down in my live stream, obviously, because I'm pretty sure I probably missed a lot of some of this stuff. Also, Chelsea is not there thinking about switching what she's going to do as far as her social media career goes, but she can't do it yet because Mom Dukes is really going through it, and she don't want to sit there and do that to her mom. Um, Now, just overall, it was interesting, right? Now, am I going to sit there and say, was this the best? No, because truth be told, I don't think this episode was supposed to be mind blowing. I want people to understand that this episode was supposed to sit there and practically like start growing his legs, right? They actually do have previews for the next episode that I didn't. Oh, also in the beginning, they actually have real music. I was like, whoa, you're not saying that they're giving us some generic crap that I hear throughout the other four soap operas? Like, what? What is going on? Plus, I like the intro. Um, yeah, this episode is just pretty much kind of setting up the drama, which I'm very happy about. You know, it's something I will sit there and say. And I'm gonna kind of bring General Hospital into it just a little bit, though, right? So, watching this episode, you know, pretty much damn near. I don't want to sit there and say all black cast, which something else that really pissed me off. People, anyway, I don't want to sit there and say this in a way where it's like makes sense. And this is for my General Hospital people. This is literally for my Tobby fans or Trina fans, right? It's nice in a sense that you don't have to have one woman of color pretty much kind of. I don't want to sit there and say carry a show or whatever, but like that's the thing about Trina, right? People always sit there and say, Trina doesn't get enough of this, Trina doesn't get enough of that, da 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 da, and that's very true. But can you imagine if it wasn't all just put on Trina? You look at this episode, you got Naomi, you got Naomi, you got I'm forgetting the names already. Oh, you got Naomi, you got Chelsea. Even for a little bit more older demographic, you got Danny, you got whatever. Danny, you got Nicole. But I mean, just going back with a more younger cast, it's like they don't have to sit there and carry that by themselves. I'm pretty sure they're going to probably introduce another younger girl in that category where it's like she's not just carrying it by herself. You know, I don't know if that makes sense, but it's something that I thought about for a while. You know. Anyway, I don't know how much sense that makes. Maybe I'll sit there and break that down a little bit more. But yeah, let me know in the comment section. What are your thoughts towards the gates? Which, god damn it, it's like every single person. See, my boy Kyrie's, Kyrie's in the chat. You know Kyrie's File carries. He introduced me to another person who is also reviewing this show. Cat Lady is also reviewing this show. Um, so I do like the fact that this show is getting a lot of support by all the different soap opera content creators. Hell, even um, Dion, GH Envy, is going to be sitting there watching the first 3 episodes and talking about it and his live stream on Wednesday. But there's way more that people are going to sit there and talk about it. But the point is that wait, here's the thing. It's the first episode. I'm not going to sit there and say it blew me away, but it kept me interested, and I'm looking forward to more of it. Anyway, we'll talk about it tonight in the live stream, as well as the other 4 shows. It's been a long day. Been a long day, but it's going to be a fun night. So definitely come through. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and we'll talk about all 5 of the soap operas. 6 if we count Hollyoaks, but yeah. Anyway, I'll see you on the next video.